y'all, it's Veronica. Coming back from our post lower body workout flow, there were some requests for a purely seated, just guided stretching, same thing, focusing on the legs and lower back. So that's what we'll do today. So a couple things, you might want a block or a pillow, especially if you're feeling tight in your hamstrings, but for the most part, we're gonna be moving pretty slowly here. We're gonna start in a seated forward fold. So again, maybe you grab a block here to support your low back. So go ahead and extend your legs out in front of you. Bring a slight bend to your knees. It'll stretch out through your hamstrings, but also your low back. And so if you want to be more passive in the bent knees, you can place a block or a pillow underneath of your knees, and that will help sort of form that bend. Flex your feet towards your face. Take an inhale, lift your hands up overhead, pull your belly in. Exhale, fold, working to pull your belly button into your thighs, keeping your spine straight. So rather than rounding, work to make connection, belly button to thigh, then ribs to thigh, then chest to thigh. And a couple of different options here from your palms. I like to bring my hands down and around the outsides of my feet or my calves, pulling my shoulder blades down and away from my ears. And then with every inhale, you can lengthen. Think about a string pulling you longer through your spine. And with every exhale, you work to get a little bit deeper into your hamstrings. And so maybe you find the block isn't for you, you can always remove it. You can still keep a small bend in your thighs. Maybe you extend your heels out. And again, start from the beginning. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, extending your spine down and along your legs with the same goal. Connecting your belly button, then your rib cage, then your chest. Deep inhale in, find some length. Deep exhale out, maybe you deepen. 2 more full rounds. Deep inhale in. Deep exhale out. Inhale, come almost to a halfway lift. Just a little bit of length, but not all the way up. And exhale, return your spine over your hips. You're gonna come into a pigeon variation here. So take your left leg like you would for pigeon. So left shin in front of your hips, flex through your left foot, and then pull your right foot back to your right hip. So you can see this from the forefront, right? So my left shin is parallel with the top edge of my mat, and then my right leg is down. Both feet are flexed here. Maybe it's better if I go like this. Yeah, maybe then you can see. So both feet are flexed. I'm in sort of like a double floor shape with my legs. And you want to work to have both hips completely grounded into your space. And if you can't seem to find that mobility, for me, sometimes it's tough on the leg that's bent back for my hips to find grounding. If that's the case, take your block or your pillow, go ahead and slip that under your hips. It pulls you a little bit up, but should feel great on your hips. You'll still feel that stretch. So from whatever variation you are, right now our left leg is in front of us. So find a deep inhale to lengthen through your spine, pull belly button in. Exhale, reach your right palm to the outside of your left thigh. Find a little bit of a twist. So options here with your arms. You can keep your left palm down at the base of your spine. Maybe you go for almost like a bind. So pulling your left palm to the outside of your right hip. And then with every inhale, find length through your spine. With every exhale, trace your gaze over your left shoulder behind you. And work to twist really just with the strength of your core. Don't try to push your twist too deeply with your right palm, though it can provide a little bit of additional help. Deep inhale in. Deep exhale out. One more deep inhale in. Deep exhale, twist a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, slowly return back to center. And now we'll focus on stretching into our left outer hip. So for the most part for me, I feel that twist in my right inner thigh, my right hip joint. So now keeping your feet flexed, start to hinge yourself forward. So same goals here, right? To pull your belly button down before your chest, keeping that straight spine. And then start to just creep yourself forward, grounding both of your hips into your mat, keeping your feet flexed. And same thing, inhale as you lengthen, exhale as you fold a little bit deeper. And this is a great place, maybe you feel like coming down onto your forearms is comfortable. That's where I get into that outer hip stretch. This is a great place for your blocks. Again, you can place your blocks in front of you or pillow, and then place your forearms down on those blocks. It brings you a little bit higher up, but keeps that stability, that straightness in your spine. And same thing, just with your breath, and maybe you don't even move, only you know you're moving just very slightly. Inhale as you're pulling your shoulder blades together and down your spine, finding length. Exhale as you're melting belly button down into the space almost between your left shin and your pelvis. Deep inhale in. Deep exhale out. Breathe in, shoulder blades together and down. Breathe out, use your core, pull your chest a little bit closer to the floor. On your next inhale, slowly come up. And let's switch out our legs. Maybe you send your legs in front of you a little bit. Shake them out. And let's move to the other side. So right shin in front now. Again, both feet are still flexed here. Working to ground both sit bones into your mat. And then take an inhale. Exhale, find a little bit of a twist. So pulling your left palm to the outside of your right thigh. Right palm can stay grounded behind you. Or maybe you opt for that half bind to feel the stretch sort of in your outer shoulder. Don't push it here, right? I have tight shoulders and it can feel nice, but sometimes it feels like too much. So if it's too much, just place your palm back onto your mat. Same goal here, keeping both hips grounded, just twisting through your spine. With inhales, you lengthen. With exhales, you twist your gaze behind you. Little to no weight in that bottom palm, so staying grounded on your sits bones. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Last one, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly return to center, and we'll start to hinge forward again. So start to pull, maybe you move some of your skin out of the way, find length through your spine, and then slowly start to shift yourself forward to find that stretch in your outer right thigh. Maybe you still feel it on your left inner thigh. I certainly do. And then you can always come down to your blocks here in front of you. Maybe you have to shift them a little bit. Pulling your shoulder blades together and down your spine. And you can think about, sometimes for me, straightening my spine, it helps me to think about my pelvis sort of as almost as a bowl. And as you start to hinge forward, rather than keeping your pelvis neutral, starting to shift your pelvis down, right? So the back of my pelvis is my thumbs here. Shifting my pelvis forward and up, right? And my hips are still square, but it helps to have the back side of my pelvis sort of tilted up to keep that straight spine. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more full round of breath at your own pace. I know that one side may feel a little bit tighter than the other, so always you have the option to stay a little bit longer even as we move on. Inhale, slowly rise, come up, unwind your legs, maybe shake them out. It might feel good also. So turning your palms back and away from you. Feet are mats width distance. And then just start to pull your legs down to one side and then to the other. This may feel good on your hips after all of that stretching. And then we'll come back, bring the soles of your feet to touch here and spread your knees wide. So this can be a lot on your hips, right? So your heels do not have to be close to your seat. You can extend your feet out a little bit in front of you. That sometimes can help. And then for this first round, keep your spine straight. So again, thinking about your pelvis here, start to tip your pelvis forward so that the base of your spine is sort of angled, for me, angled at the camera, angled forward. And then take your pointer and middle finger, your peace fingers, to your big toe. Start to push your elbows into your thighs and work to keep a straight spine as you fold. So I don't have a lot of mobility here, my hips are tight. But same goal here, right? You want to start by connecting your belly button to your heels, then thinking about your chest. So working to keep that straight spine, squeezing shoulder blades together. And you should still, even if you're not going very far, you should still feel a decent stretch through both inner thighs here. Deep inhale in. Deep exhale out. One more inhale. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, slowly come up. You can keep your grip or maybe grab the outsides or the bottom right now of your feet. Take an inhale. And then this time, go ahead and round your spine, working to pull your forehead down. Should still feel a stretch here, but maybe you also feel it coming up and down your spine. So goal is still length here through your spine. You're just rounding instead of straightening your spine. So as you're breathing and moving, you can still think about lifting, lengthening, and exhales folding a little bit deeper. We'll stay for 2 more rounds at your own pace. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. One more deep inhale. Deep exhale. Inhale, slowly come back up to rise. And then I'm gonna move around here. We're gonna move into our twist with a quad stretch. So go ahead and grab your blocks or your pillows. Roll all the way down onto your spine. Pull your legs into your chest here. Maybe you rock side to side, massage out through your low back. And then extend your right leg long on your mat. Heel can be down. And then work to grab maybe the back of your left thigh. Maybe you can reach and grab the outside or inside of your left foot. So coming into a half happy baby. And I like to keep my right palm on my right hip joint just to remind myself that both hips should be grounded into the mat here. And then you can just sort of move your knee in a circle. You should feel this as a nice opening through your left hip crease. Then take a deep inhale here and find a twist. So left knee over to the right side. Maybe you ground your knee into your block. Working to keep both shoulders grounded. So this should feel like a nice stretch through your left oblique and into your left IT band. And you have the option to stay here, or maybe you bend your right heel to your right glute and capture your right foot with your left hand. And this should feel like a pretty nice quad stretch, running the whole front of your leg and even up into your hip flexor. So working to keep both hips flexed, both shoulders down is what I meant to say there. And then if you wanted to complete the twist, you could gaze over your left shoulder. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, slowly unwind, release your quad stretch, come back to center, and pull both knees into your chest again, rock side to side, massage through your low back. And then extend your left leg long, pull your right knee into your chest, and again, maybe you just reach for behind your right thigh, maybe you reach for the inside or the outside of your right foot. And then again, pressing my left palm into my left hip crease to remind me that both of my hips should be grounded into the mat. I'm just gonna work towards half happy baby on my right side, taking similar movements that I did on the other side, just so I can move back and forth here and feel that additional hip opening. And take a deep inhale. Exhale, find your twist, pulling right leg over to the left side of your body. And again, maybe grounding your knee onto a block. You can find the block. There we go. And then, again, option to stay in this twist. Sometimes when my shoulders and biceps are tight, I feel this all the way up into my shoulder. It can be a really nice stretch just to stay. If you did take the quad stretch on the other side, go ahead and do that on this side too. So pull your left heel into your glutes. Reach down and capture your left toes with your right hand. And then again, to complete the twist, you would gaze over your right shoulder, but know you're getting just a deep and hook twist as you are. And then working here to keep your breath smooth, equal inhales and exhales. Your next inhale, slowly release your legs. Again, pull your knees into your chest, maybe rock side to side. And rock and roll the length of your spine 2 to 3 times. And meet me in an easy seat. Okay guys, thanks so much. Again, my name is Veronica. It's been such a pleasure guiding you. If you have any other recommendations or questions about how any of that felt, please don't hesitate to let me know.